a lot of times companies that are run with that sort of being mindful of their social and environmental impact do financially better. One, because they have buy-in from their employees, they have buy-in from their community, and they're thinking about the long-term impact of their decision making so that they can see things that are coming down the road and not necessarily be always putting out fires. And so an example I use, and I teach a law school class about this. So an example I use is about
Where are you teaching law school?
at Pitt.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'm still in talks with them to take my class to a full semester. So maybe somebody at Pitt will be listening to this and think that it's worthwhile to
Full
expand
semester.
the curriculum.
Professor Aaron Curry.
Yeah, I'm trying to add it to my CV. But if you look at something like, to use a very specific example, like Boeing, if Boeing didn't have necessarily, it wasn't looking so much at the commercial pressure to get an airplane out the door that was competing with other things that was cheaper than everything else, that they're pushing all of their engineers and they're pushing all their employees in order to get the cheapest product that they could out into the market, maybe there would have been somebody who could say, wait a minute, there's this problem with it. Or we were listening to the people who said there's this problem with it, and they would have avoided some of the PR and other catastrophic events that happened.
Which
with
ended up costing them more money. Yeah, makes sense.
Then if they had slowed down and been like, okay, who's our customer here? Who are our employees working on this here? How is it that we make this in a way that we're mindful of who it is that we're serving and who it is that's working on this? And understanding that, yeah, maybe it'll take 2 years longer than we thought it did, which might be a catastrophic amount of money, but is it as catastrophic as what has been happening? I don't know. And so those are the things that I'm curious about is like, okay, over the long run, if you're thinking about the sustainability of your company, about how long you want it to last, are you looking at short-term profits and gains? Yes, to a certain extent. But can you look to the longer term and say, okay, if I do these things and I take care of my people and I take care of my community, will I also be able to sustain for longer and therefore make profit over a longer term?